Welcome back everyone to What If Goku Married Suno Part 11. Again, sorry about how slow I am, but when we last left off we had Vegeta and Boxa staring down a semi-perfect Cell over the ocean. I would say islands, but Cell blew those up, so win some you lose some. But before we begin proper, let's get the obligation out of the way. So if you could sub, that'd be great, because TBH, if this ever becomes a full-time job, guaranteed videos would be a little bit more consistent than they are now. But anyway, on with the video. We'll go to right where we left it, with Vegeta and Boxa and Cell, and they will just talk for a bit. Vegeta being the most smug he's ever been, because he knows he's currently the strongest. Even if he does know that it may not be the case when everyone else is done with the hyperbolic time chamber, Vegeta just plans to make the most out of being the strongest currently. And after Cell tries to make a witty remark trying to belittle the short-stacked Prince of Saiyans, Vegeta smirks and darts right behind Cell, giving him a solid kidney punch, then uppercutting the Bugman into the air. Cell recovers from that to only see Vegeta right in front of his face. Vegeta doesn't really hold back as he pummels into Cell. Boxa meanwhile is trying his best to find the androids, to destroy them, so that Cell can't achieve his perfect form. Since I'm certain the others on the lookout would have told Vegeta and Boxa everything that was going on before the pair headed into combat, and without the deactivation remote, there isn't really a way to deactivate the androids. I mean, at this point Boxa has two android deactivation devices. He calls them Righty and Lefty. And that's his plan. But unfortunately for him, since 16 wasn't injured, they are long gone at this point. Or so would it seem, since I'm sure the androids would have still been able to see what Cell was up to, considering at this point they're just hiding underwater. So once Vegeta and Cell started fighting, it gave the androids ample opportunity to escape, which it's made far easier for them since no one can sense them. However, between the time Piccolo started fighting 17 and now, I would say Ada had a big brain idea and headed off to Capsule Corp, frustrated that when they were initially searching for the androids, and Ada figured it'd be a great idea for him to have his power scanner upgraded, so it could detect androids. And if anyone could do it, it'd be Bulma and Dr. Briefs, who Ada has a pretty tight relationship with at this point. Not as close as he is with Suno, but it's like pretty close, they're tight. Basically, if he ain't with Suno and Goku at their place, he's at the lab. And with their genius, I'd say it wouldn't even take them that long to upgrade the scanner. So by the present point in time, Ada is already upgraded and can detect androids' locations. But before leaving, Ada is fully aware of how dangerous this mission of his is gonna be, so he wants to come up with some kind of plan, and then he can tell that Boxa isn't actually fighting at all. Just based off his power level is completely stable. The Ada figures he'll head over to Boxa and see what's up, since Boxa is still in the area where the androids are. Well, Vegeta and Cell are as well, but Boxa's the only one unoccupied, so that's where Ada is going. Boxa throughout all this is just searching aimlessly for the androids whilst Vegeta is seen in the background wailing on a giant bug creature, that being Cell of course. Cell at this point is hurt and frustrated as hell, but most importantly his ego is hurt, telling Vegeta that if he were perfect, he'd destroy the prince. This of course strokes Vegeta's own ego, and he obliges Cell, stopping their fight, and instead the pair of them go to search for the androids. Boxa is horrified to see that Vegeta is now helping Cell and goes Super Saiyan and rushes Cell, knocking him a far distance away. Far enough so that Vegeta and Boxa can have a little chat about the current situation, which still ends in disagreement, and Vegeta hits Boxa in the stomach at full force, stunning Boxa. Vegeta then flies off to regroup with Cell so they can find the androids. And it's at this moment that Ada catches up with Boxa, telling Boxa he knows where the androids are. This piques Boxa's interest immensely. Boxa asks him how he knows where they are, and Ada informs Boxa about his upgraded power scanner, and the two head off together towards the androids. However, Vegeta being as cunning as he is, notices that Boxa started heading in an odd direction, since he figured Boxa would continue chasing him. Vegeta figures that Boxa knows something. He tells Cell to hide his power level as much as possible, since it is now a tailing mission. This ends up leading to what you think would happen. As Boxa and Ada find 16 and 18 underwater, Vegeta and Cell appear very quickly after, Cell using a solar flare as an opening as Vegeta gives Boxa another gut punch to stun him, before he could do anything. And in that confusion, Cell is able to absorb 18, becoming perfect, much to Boxa and Ada's horror. Vegeta, now static, takes the fight with Cell back to the skies above the ocean, leaving 16, Ada and Boxa down below. Though since Boxa does still have to breathe unlike the rest of his company, they all go up to the surface to watch what happens next. Vegeta and Cell face off once again, and at first Cell is taking it easy in the fight as he gets accustomed to his new form and power. And once he's warmed up enough, he drops a charade, telling Vegeta it's time to get serious now. Vegeta, thinking that Cell is bluffing or something, just rushes at Cell like he'd been doing for quite some time already. However, this is a giant mistake Vegeta is making, as we all know. Keep in mind, this isn't even the same canon Cell either. I'm pretty sure I mentioned this much earlier on, like a few parts ago, which in real time would be like, oh god, a long time ago, I'm sorry. But since Jiro's robots got better data, since everyone was significantly stronger than their canon counterparts in the Saiyan saga, Cell was already quite a bit buff from his canon self. But this perfect Cell is stronger than the canon one as well. So Vegeta's attacks literally end up doing nothing to Cell, and Vegeta is horrified by this, and very quickly understands his mistakes. As Cell decides to stop with the smug show of his and actually goes on the offensive. And honestly, Vegeta is made insanely quick work of. Cell then turns his attention to Boxa once Vegeta lays unconscious in front of him. And here, Boxa goes Super Saiyan Grade 3, which does boost his power above Cell's physically, but Cell can now run laps around him like we're nothing. But not only that, the power drain on Super Saiyan Grade 3 would also be tremendous, considering it's a form Boxa hasn't used a lot of yet. So while he's stronger than Cell physically, it won't be for very long. Cell doesn't even need to mimic the form to get enough power to match Boxa though. Cell may be weaker physically, but it's not by a far margin at all, not like in the canon version. Like Boxa right now is only like 10 to 15% more physically powerful than Cell, which is still close enough margin that Cell can absolutely dumpster Boxa. Cell actually knocks him out as well, and then directs his attention to 16 and Ada, who are still just kinda there, in shock after the whole 18 absorption thing earlier. Cell inquires if this is the strongest the world has to offer. Ada immediately retorts saying that once Goku is ready, he will take Cell down, which amuses Cell, mentioning the brief interaction he had with Goku earlier, that being when Goku stood in to save Piccolo. So somewhat like canon, Cell decides to hold the Cell games, giving them the canon amount of time to prepare for it. And then Cell departs from the scene to go start making the ring and then advertising the Cell games. Ada and 16 then grab Boxa and Vegeta out of the water. 16 ends up tagging along since he became fast friends with Ada, who he has a bit in common with, since they are both fully robotic androids unlike 17 and 18, who are more like cyborgs than androids, but moving on. Ada and 16 take Vegeta and Boxa to Capsule Corp, where they wake up and are informed of the situation. Once they know, Ada heads off towards the lookout to let everyone up there know what's going on, as 16 stays behind at Capsule Corp since Dr. Briefs decides he wants to have a good old checkup on him. This leading to the discovery and then removal of the bomb inside 16. Meanwhile, Bulma sends word to anyone not about to train in the hyperbolic time chamber to come to Capsule Corp, meaning only Suno and Chatsu. But speaking of the hyperbolic time chamber, now is a good time to go over everyone's training since we got a very brief peacetime before the Cell games. So, when Goku and Gohan come out of the hyperbolic time chamber, like canon, they are calmly retaining their Super Saiyan form, the telltale signs of having the form mastered. But once they exit, that is also the time when Ada arrives telling them about the latest developments, which most of them, mainly Nail and Piccolo, already knew since they were already observing the world below. It's not like they have much else to do when they're waiting for their turn to enter the hyperbolic time chamber. But back with Goku and Gohan and about their training here. Gohan in particular got extra gains since he was already quite a bit stronger than his canon self on entry. Goku as well, but it's more drastic in Gohan, at least when you look at it from like a percentage perspective. This would have made it a lot easier for Goku to train Gohan to an adequate level and not have Gohan hold Goku back in training, for as long anyway. So because of that alone, Goku got a fair amount of extra gains too. Unlike with Vegeta and Boxa's time in the chamber, this Goku and Gohan got like 30% extra gains out of the hyperbolic time chamber rather than the 5% Vegeta and Boxa got. And that's like not even going to full depth with that because Gohan got a lot more gains than Goku did. And if it isn't obvious already, Goku and Gohan came out of the hyperbolic time chamber as the strongest Z-Warriors present. This includes after everyone else has their turns. But also on an important note, everyone else who sees them come out notice that Gohan is stronger. What I mean by that is, I mean as in stronger than Goku. Not just stronger than his past self. He's stronger than Goku right now. Which he already was in the canon variant, but no one... It wasn't like noticeable enough. Like he would have had to unleash his power for people to notice that. Because they don't ever note it until he's actually fighting Cell. And that's after he goes Super Saiyan 2 when they finally admit, oh shit, he's stronger. Gohan only seemed weaker because he just didn't want to fight. That's like the whole thing. So, but the difference being here that like while even calm, everyone notices Gohan is stronger than Goku. Moving on to the next pair, that being Piccolo and Nail. Now here it's a bit interesting because in canon, Piccolo trained alone. And since he's got a training partner, I would say he gets pretty significant extra gains compared to his canon counterpart. Though it would still take some time to get Nail up to snuff in power, I think Piccolo would still be able to manage that pretty well. Though I will say that Piccolo remains pretty significantly stronger than Nail. To scale it, I put Nail's current power after the hyperbolic time chamber at around Piccolo's power right before he went in. So stronger than the androids, probably not 16, and definitely weaker than Cell. And keep in mind that Nail's power was still pretty much mid-Frieza Saga level, so this much boost in power is kind of insane. Also in that 1 year in the hyperbolic time chamber, Piccolo also gets to learn a lot more about his people's culture through Nail. Since, you know, he didn't fuse with Nail, he didn't get that much information about his old race. Since Kami doesn't remember that much himself either. It's not like Piccolo necessarily wanted to know, though he is glad with knowing. Oh, by the way, after the training in the hyperbolic time chamber with Nail, I put Piccolo's power just over Vegeta's. He's just a little bit stronger than the boy. So in this timeline, Vegeta gets top dog status, only get put down to like 4th. Alright, onto the next group, which is Krillin, Chi-Chi, and Amon, and honestly there isn't really much to cover here, other than the fact that they do get quite a bit stronger, but it does pale in comparison to everyone else's gains, though Amon does get the most out of it, Amon basically being very close to being on par with his parents. Krillin does note that Amon does seem to have some decent potential, but still not that half Saiyan type potential, but that's about it for them. To scale their power, I'd put them about 50% strength Frieza. You know, the final form, the first variant of the final form, when Frieza's still going easy on them. And then we're moving on to the last group for training, and that is Yamcha and Tien. And the pair train their Kaioken ability so that they could use times 50 Kaioken. And by the end of their training, they are able to do it. Though the energy drain and damage that endure for that power is still really high. But at this point, it's manageable for about 5 minutes. This does of course make Yamcha and Tien the strongest humans, Tien being stronger than the two by a noticeable margin, and I put their strengths around the androids level as well, while Yamcha being just a little bit weaker than the androids, meaning he's also a little bit weaker than Nail, Tien is stronger than Nail, and the androids too. And with his use of Kaioken times 50, he could even give 16 a run for his money. I don't know if he could defeat him, maybe, if he does it quickly enough. But if we're going by Dragonball Super Tien, nah, he's not gonna defeat nothing. Bruh, Dragonball Super dogged our boy. Anyway, that's about it. Now that I've dealt with all the hyperbolic time chamber training, that's all I've got time for today. I hope you guys did enjoy this video and expect the next one a bit sooner, hopefully. Fingers crossed. I had a lot of tech issues and I also had a minor operation. It went well. It went very, very well. Thank you for asking. But like if you like the video, sub if you're new, notifications on, because hopefully should be going a little bit quicker on these. So anyway, I've been the Dragonball What If Bro, and I'll see you guys next time. Hopefully. I mean, I'm saying hopefully as in I hope you're there.